What's going on, everybody? This is Andy's Automotive, and we're going to go ahead and get this 034 Motorsports high pressure fuel pump installed on this 2015 Volkswagen Passat. So I bought the entire assembly. So this apparently is from the allows the 1.8 to flow or vacuum like the 2.0. I have the 1.8. I again put this is the part number. This is for the fuel pump upgrade EA 888 Gen 3. Again, I opted for the entire kit that came with this. So essentially I'm going to put it all together at once. Came with a new gasket and 3 new mounting bolts, along with the 2 fuel pump bolts, brand new. It is the triple square. I have this awesome multi-kit from VIM. I got it off a good old Mack truck, and she fits beautifully in there. All right, and that is a size 10. So it's a size 10 triple square. If you can't get a kit like this, these are 1/4 inch drive. If you can't get a kit like this, you can get them at O'Reilly's Auto Parts. They have like a 4-pack for like $10 or something like that, maybe 12, and it actually has several sizes in it, but they're about this long, and you can put a 9/16 socket on them and use them that way. So this is a snap-on. You know, they got their slim wheel sockets. This is a 15 millimeter, and I just double checked because this is apparently an option for some cars. So I double checked. So the slim socket was the only thing I could fit in here. Maybe some other sockets will fit, but it is a 15 millimeter, and it fits tight. Made sure it was tight. You're going to lubricate your new O-rings, or O-ring rather, sorry. You're going to lubricate it with fresh fuel. You can use petroleum jelly if you want, and a little bit of fuel with it. I always like to do that. I've always used petroleum jelly. So here's our mounting gasket. It comes with a new gasket for the back. These 3 bolts are all, sorry, I said that without looking at it. There's your new gasket for your vacuum assembly. And here are all 3 of your mounting bolts. They are all the same size, so you don't have to worry about mixing those up. The fuel pump mounting bolts are also the same size. This is, I guess, the alternate mounting barb for the hole that I just checked to make sure that was tight, just in case it came loose. Obviously check your plug to make sure the pins aren't broken or anything, and also that it actually plugs in. I noticed that this plug is actually inverted from mine. It'll instead of being plugged upside down, it'll actually be plugged right side up on my car. So this is my baby. There's a whole lot going on. I do have the IS38 turbo in here. It is the big one. I have not got it fully tuned yet. I got to get it custom dyno tuned to actually pull the power out of this baby. There is a lot of modification that went on. Got my CTS catch can still running. Yeah, do my little self-healing silicone tape again. So it came with this assembly. Got rid of the whole breather. I actually ordered another universal catch can with 10 AN fittings. I don't know where I'm going to mount it at, but I'm actually going to route it in line with this one, so I can give it more, because this thing fills up now with IS38 turbo. This thing fills up every week within a few days, right? So it's kind of annoying to have to empty it all the time. I did get this. I actually got this off eBay, I believe, or maybe Amazon. It's the all aluminum housing. It screws straight in there, pretty dope. Factory sensors, factory manifold. I do have the integrated engineering intake, the integrated engineering turbo inlet elbow on this. It does rub here on the brake booster, so I do have another version of that inlet elbow, but the CTS, this is the CTS, I'm sorry. The CTS one fits very well in here. It's just a little big on that side. I did have to grind it down a little bit to have my Go Fast Bits diverter valve spacer here with that brass piston inside. That smooths out boost overall, in my opinion. I do have the APR Stage 2 tune on this car. My VIN was lucky enough to be able to use it. But now back to the point. The intercooler piping is all custom. This is just heat tape, it's not patched. And then this is just for rubbing as well as the coolant hoses. So for mine, completely custom, I heat wrapped all these so it's hard to really see what's going on. These are actually heater core hose lines. You could either delete it or reroute it. So I ordered on Amazon, I ordered 90-degree Volkswagen heater core lines, right? And they came from, I think, the late 90s models. And I was able to actually find some that were 90. So I ordered 2 sets. I used both 90s and I routed both hoses this way, all behind the brake booster. And then I just put this battery fluff here to keep it from rubbing. So I do have them routed. I actually cut off the coolant lines that were down there, used those hoses, shaved them down, smoothed them up real good, and actually mounted the coolant hoses on those. So it's on the barb sides and all clamped up really good. And I've been driving it like this for easily 6 months now, and I rag on it pretty hard and she's holding up perfect. Always make sure you have your check valve, just in case it may backwards boost, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So this guy, this is what we're changing. So I initially was going to order just this, and then I realized that they have this situation here as well. I don't know if it's necessary, but for supposedly it helps the 1.8 flow like the 2.0. I have already loosened up the mounting bolts. The car is still pretty hot. I just got home after a 30-mile drive. There was plenty of pressure in here. Take this off first. I saw a video of a guy, he took this completely out and then tried to take this hose off, but you're just fighting all together trying to do that. That doesn't make any sense. So take that, loosen the clamp. That's this guy here. So loosen that clamp, pull this off first, and then go ahead and loosen your 2 mounting screws, one on each side. Those were a Torx size T30. So it was a T30 size there. Okay. And so anywho, so I had to reroute a lot of stuff. I had to modify everything. This was the wastegate harness. I had to actually take it out of the loom here, and I basically taped it, heat shrunk it all the way through, and then wrapped it with this high heat fiberglass guard. Yeah, the turbo does good. I do have the newer wastegate on it. The electric wastegates that come with it are complete garbage. It worked for a little while and then it failed. I ordered a new one. It was bad out of the box. I ordered another one, bad out of the box. Again, these are all coming from, you know, eBay, Amazon type things. So the guy that put the Stage 2 APR tune on for me, he was like, well, there's a newer model for the Golfs. So it's like an all metal version with the exception of course, the sensor because it is electric. And that one so far has been holding up. I get a code here and there. I'm going to try to find the thing to make the wastegate rod a little longer. Maybe that's part of the issue. But once I get it tuned up, hopefully that kind of goes away. But anyway, the video is about this guy here. So this is your high pressure fuel pump. This is already broken loose. Everything is broken loose. This was a 17 millimeter B-nut, but I used my handy dandy beautiful baby Knipex pliers, and these are very small, so you can see the torque was very little to get that off. I already took the mounting bolts out now that I've got the barb off, or the hose off the barb. I've got it now to where it's pretty much dislocated. Yeah, there, so you can see. But I went ahead and loosened the primary mounting bolts off of here. That way when I take these out, I always do the more difficult one first. So we're going to take this one off the bottom. And there's your vacuum mounting. So we'll see what the design looks like. Hopefully this thing mounts straight up. Otherwise I'm going to have to put the pump on and then put this thing back in. Most Volkswagen bolts that I've noticed are all torque to yield. Super annoying. So it's like a one-time use thing. Plenty of people reuse a lot of bolts. I would say obviously something on the engine like the head bolts or something like that, I would say don't try to reuse those. This is hard with one hand. You know, so there's 2. So I got one left, and they are offset. So that baby's out now. And the only thing really holding this on is the fuel line. I've already detached it from here. So you're gonna wanna take these off. The new one did not come with them. So if there's a place for it, these just hold your little vacuum line, this guy here. So let me see if I can do this without dropping everything. I'm gonna get a mount right here. There we go. See if I can get this baby. Hopefully all the fuel's done spinning at me. So now that I got it sideways, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the pump out. All right. It's kind of ugly in there. It's actually got oil in it. I don't know if that's normal or not. Maybe I have too much blow-by going on. That's getting to the vacuum system. That's definitely oil. So here's my pump. The reason I opted for the assembly is because, just in case, I've read that some people have issues with the 034 and it does not work like it's supposed to. And I'm not a fan of that, so I always like to have the ability to go backwards if I need to ASAP. So far this has only taken me about 20 minutes to let the car cool down a little bit and kind of get in here. What I will say is that this thing is very hot right now, so it's kind of hard. That is the camshaft right there. I see how the cam roller lines up, just so you can see a better idea of how this cam roller situation is. I was told to replace this no matter what if you open this up. So this baby comes out. Damn, this is hot. So anyway, it just kind of pushes out. So you can see in here, it looks like it's kind of keyed. So it only goes in one way. I did order a new one. I have the OEM Volkswagen cam roller. So I'm gonna put that guy on the ground in a second here. This thing is very hot. Camshaft looks good. I'll show you in a second. Put this down. All right. Some light going here. All right, so here is, so that's your camshaft. So this is what the roller actually runs up against. So I guess that explains why there's a little oil on it, because obviously it connects to the camshaft. There's the old gasket, nice and ugly. Not worn out yet. I mean, it's not showing really any signs of leaking, so that's good. I do notice a little bit of RTV on there. I don't know if that's just a maybe factory paint on the gasket or what. Is that where that's where the valve cover mounts, so maybe that's why they got sealant on there. Okay, so I might put a little bit of sealant back on that, just where all the places mount, so it looks like like it's part of the valve cover gasket here. So I'm going to put a little bit of sealant there and on this back side, right? You can kind of see. Zoom in. Yeah, there you go. So that line right there, that's your valve cover. So you're going to want to put a little bit of sealant there to help seal that. I didn't see one on the bottom. So it should just be that, and then the gasket should take care of it. Now, ideally, the gasket should do the job by itself. But obviously in this case, it looks like there was sealant there. So we're going to put a little bit back. I'm going to use a high chemical resistant, high heat sealant, not red, but a blue oxygen sensor safe type stuff that's oil resistant will come in handy here. Check your camshaft lobe while you're here. Don't contaminate it with a bunch of crap, but just look at it. If it looks good, which it does, it's nice and shiny. Don't dare try to move it or anything. That would be silly. So yeah, this is the whole assembly. I don't have any brake cleaner, so I can't spray all that off like I want. So right here is your high pressure fuel line. That's going to feed in. So it did have a lot of pressure on it, residual, like I said. Good news is these bodies look identical for the most part. I don't really know what the difference is here, besides one's really hot. Let's see. And that cam roller is not falling out, so that's good to know. It doesn't just fall. So you can see there's a little bit of gunk in there. And this one obviously is brand new screen, brand new everything. So what you want to do when you're replacing something like this is just make sure everything looks the same or very close to the same. So you can tell it's a slightly different design as far as the vacuum goes here. Hopefully it, you know, mounts up correctly and everything. One thing you can do is take your gasket. Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna need to put sealant because it came with it. That's awesome. So that's how you know the gasket goes on correctly. Anyway, what that on. So your gasket's gonna sit like this, right? And what you can do, oh, I wonder if it's the same. And you just move it over here and set it on it. I'm not gonna put it on it because all the oil's on there. And yeah, so it looks identical. It's got the same passage opening for the little mesh screen there. I don't know if that's a check valve or a feed or something like that, but so far so good. I am gonna get that roller pin out of there. So let me see. So ideally you want to look to make sure they're the same. So this one also has the keyhole right there at the top, right there. So that little rainbow looking deal where my finger's at. So that's going to be your keyway. So let's look at this guy. Keyway is at 12 o'clock. Keyway is also at 12 o'clock. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so I guess that's why they... So that is a big design difference there. So I see that now. So the piston's going to go in here, but this pump is much bigger as far as this hole goes, because this is not going to fit in there. It's going to stop before it ever gets all the way in the hole. So you can see that. That's as far as it goes. So for the 1.8 liter TSI 888 EA 888-3, you are going to have to make sure that you have the appropriate setup going on, because yeah, so if I would have just did on the pump, I do have a Atlas with a 2.0, so worst case scenario I would have just used it for that. But yeah, here's your cam. Let's push this out. So the guys on a few videos that I saw that didn't really do a lot of into like what I'm doing right now, they just kind of grabbed it with a magnet and pulled it out. So far it actually looks really good. There is no wear signs on this thing at all. I mean, you can see where it's been rolling, but it's just a little, oh my bad, there you go. Just a little heat. I mean, it is a little hot. You can tell it got hot. So I'm gonna obviously save this. I'm not gonna get rid of it. I'm going to get the new one I bought and drop her in here. And as long as it lines up like it's supposed to, and the size and everything looks about the same, we should be good to go. Yeah, so just out of curiosity, I'm gonna drop this guy in here. So you see it's got a key on it. Not on that side, just on that side. It's nice dirty oil. Now you see it won't go all the way down until you line that key up. So line up the key. Man, this is hard to one hand. There we go. Oh, too far. A little more. There we go. Okay, so now obviously it's backwards, I just wanted to make sure it fit. All right, so that goes in there nicely. Pull it out. Let me actually put it the right way. And again, if you don't have the thing lined up, it's not going to go all the way in. Putting it in is actually a lot easier because you can kind of move it around. Maybe. There we go. Get in there. Alright, so you can see it's in there. Cam roller is going to come down. And that's going to run up against the camshaft lobe. like so. So it's probably going to be flush like that, roughly somewhere in there. And it should just roll, so it's like a timing situation. And yeah, so as long as this guy is the same, so I want to make sure that that's facing the same direction. It should be good. It is a slight difference in angle. If you look closely, you can tell. So I clocked the plus sign looking deal, and it looks just a little bit different. Hopefully that doesn't cause any issues. We'll find out when I crank it up. It don't work, right? But supposedly, you can see that little check valve right here. Look closely when I move that plus. So either way, that thing's kind of dirty anyway. It's good to have this out. So I would probably use some B12 Chemtol and go ahead and get this baby shined back up. Once I'm done, put it back in this box and save it. I'm not gonna take none of this apart. I would love to see what's inside there, but I'm not going to, just in case I need it. That's clearly a diaphragm. Looks like a one-way. I'm sure this one has the same thing. Yes, it does. So I'm gonna go ahead and mount this baby up, and yeah, it should be good to go. My other cam follower is in the garage. I gotta go get it. I forgot to grab it when I grabbed this box. Just make sure you don't accidentally contaminate it with anything. And always check for like loose aluminum or any kind of stuff like that when you put stuff like this together. And yeah, so give me a second. Get the camera mounted back temporarily here. 21 minutes. Hopefully I don't have to make a part 2 on this. Stand by. Okay, well, sorry about that, guys. Can't seem to find my box for my roller. I do have some new microfiber towels. Just gonna wipe this area down very carefully. I'm gonna wipe the cam off, and then I'll put some soft new oil back on it, and just to make sure this mounting surface is nice and pretty. All right. There probably is a torque on the bolts. Do you need a torque on the bolts? Probably not. Got a little oil spill down here. I mean, if you use a 1/4 inch ratchet and you're not like Superman, you can probably pretty easily get the proper torque on these without breaking it. Again, so just, yeah, this is your situation. So your gasket's gonna go on, and again, you're gonna put the blue, if you get the kit that I got, your blue is gonna go up against here. That way it's already ready for you. Which is interesting because, so it actually has grip claws for the gasket. So the blue is gonna face away. So these are gonna pop down in here. I guess they did that so it doesn't fall. And if it does fall, you can probably grab it. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to fit this baby in here. So again, I got my little claws. I'm gonna push them in a little bit, and I'm gonna get this thing installed here. Yeah, it's not really gonna be a great camera angle. I don't have a cameraman. Might be all right. Let's see. There we go. Sadly, the focus will probably change once I get this in here. So we're gonna face this direction. Slide down very carefully, of course. Actually, let me grab some new oil. And I'll leave that right there. Be right back. Jesus. Sorry guys, I don't know how I'm going to edit this video, but what we're going to do is take this turbo assembly lube. This to help the turbos. So I think it was like $15 for this one little bottle. It's 125 mLs. You only use a tiny little bit. All right, I'm just going to put a little tiny bit on the cap. Like a little tiny bit, and then just dump it on that camshaft lobe. That way it's got a nice, beautiful surface to rub on. Let me go ahead and smooth that in. And yes, I did wipe my gloves off before I put them on. So I rubbed it, and I'm just going to let it run gravity-wise. Tiny little bit. Let gravity do its thing. A little in there, don't hurt. Alright, that's all it's going to be for that. I can't find my lobe. I am going to put the new one in, obviously, because I'm not going to do all this without that. But I do need to locate it, so I'll have to add on and edit this video. Lift the fuel rail up a little bit. Get this baby back up here. Again, you don't want your gasket to get in the way. There we go. Alright. I need to rotate this pretty hard. Counterclockwise. Come on. You can do it. Find the hole. Kind of scary, not gonna lie. I guess that's part of it. I just had to rotate. Okay, so it rotates independently of the camshaft lobe. So it was kind of scary for a second because I mean, the chain, of course, is on, so it's not going to move anything, but it's always like to be extra careful with that kind of stuff, you know. Let me go ahead and get this one bolt started. Get my new bolts. All right, we'll go here first. And again, the fuel pressure pump is going to be interesting. So it looks like it's going to give me a little bit of a fight. Just eyeballing like how this is going to go together. And I'm going to go ahead and start the bolts. That way I don't lose my gasket or nothing. Yeah, definitely easier this time around with two hands. Just do what you got to do. Get that baby in there. Alright, so now that I know my gasket's not going to go anywhere, I will continue this on part 2. So there's temp installed. Alright, and again, you want to lubricate everything with either a dash of engine oil for the cam lobe. You saw I put the little turbo stuff on there, turbo oil stuff, conditioner. And so it does look like this line is going to be a little more interference, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that. It might just fit how it's supposed to, but it looks like it might give me a really tight fit. But then again, this vacuum pump assembly plus the pump is kind of supposed to be made together for this car, so you would think they would have calculated this in. Worst case, I'm going to have to find out where it attaches under this, and I see right there's a hex. See if I can get a right with that gold Yeah, that gold fitting right down in there, that's going to be the back side of this fuel line. Looks like an elbow. So it is bolted on right there. So if I could just loosen that baby up, that might give me whatever I need to get it on. And actually that might help you install when you're getting ready to take it apart. If you loosen that up, that'll give you more play on this upper line here. So yeah, let me find my cam roller and then we'll continue this video. Thank you.